of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Before the start of tonight's regular meeting, the board met in an executive session. We discussed two matters of litigation involving the Hammerstein development and the pavilion at Furlong. In addition, we discussed a personnel matter dealing with salaries and benefits for non-uniform employees. Okay, the first thing on our agenda is a happy presentation and recognition of our volunteer firemen, and we have here with us representatives from Warrington Fire Company, Chalfont Fire Company, and Doylestown Fire Company. Gentlemen and ladies, would you please come forward? All you volunteers. I see. No? Yes? No?
No ladies.
Yes, please. From Warrington is Mike Bean, Fire Chief. Let me see what we got here. That's Doyle's. That's Chalfont. Hang on.
Yeah.
Warrington, thank you very much. Doylestown Engine Fire Company, Sam Kramer is the fire chief, and Jay Fedoroff is the president of the company. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good, Grant.
And fire chief. Gentlemen,
Photo op.
all of Central Bucks is very grateful to your service, to the service of your volunteers.
Thank you.
We've had two major fires in recently. I just would like Rick Shea to also have a few words, but we should never forget that these folks come out at all times. One fire was called at 3 in the morning. The other one is during their regular business hours. They leave their families, they leave their workplaces, and they risk their lives, and they do that for us. And they do it for us as volunteers. So we want to thank you. We appreciate you. And if we don't say it enough, we're going to say it every time we can. So thank you very much. Would you like to say a few words? And I think you're going to have to get behind the microphone because I got yelled at just now. Okay. Come on over. Yeah, please stay there. Yeah, we don't.
No. As you guys get it.
All right. Just want to thank all the firefighters, officers, fire police, and fire investigators for their efforts in reaching fires. It's been a lot of time spent out. Being a firefighter for a long time, I understand the commitment it takes and the teamwork that firefighters share. We leave our families, our friends, work for sometimes hours on end, and we thank everybody for that, all the volunteers across the board. To go out and assist other people in their time of need. That may be a fire, an alarm, or a rescue system at any time, day or night. I want to thank you for your teamwork, the protection of life and property, preservation of the fire scene, and for everybody else, we need more volunteers on a daily basis to come out and help with their local fire departments and support from their family and local businesses in those efforts. Please continue to do your best, be safe, and support each other. Thank you, and God bless.
Advise we have a representative from Doylestown Borough here.
Yes, I would.
Please come up, sir, and introduce yourself.
Yes. I'm Jack O'Brien. I'm the Vice President of the Borough Council, and I just wanted to come and express my appreciation to all the efforts that they do for us as well. I want to thank you for the invitation to be here tonight, and we do our best to support you where we can, and if you need anything, come see us. You know that, right? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Gentlemen, thank you again. You're welcome to stay for our meeting, but we know you probably have more important things to do. Thank you very much for coming, and congratulations. And again, we appreciate your efforts and your work.
Hey, how are you? Yep.
Thanks.
See you.
All right. Awesome. Visitors and public comments, if any? Please, sir. Grab the microphone, identify yourself, and your address.
Joe Paternostro, Halk Road. Are we going to learn any bit more about this executive session on Hammerstein? Will you brief us next meeting or the meeting after? or tell us what's going on? Or do we have to file like with the Sunshine Law or some crazy stuff like that?
Well, nothing will be done unless it occurs at a public meeting. So you were here for the last presentation, and the discussion was about some of the nuances of that, but nothing will be approved without it occurring in this public meeting.
Will we hear about the nuances?
Well, when it gets to the point where the nuances have any legs about them, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions, Joe? Okay. Any other comments? All right, hearing none. We're moving on to our announcements at the 2017 budget work session. I think our first one, right, will be held on Tuesday, September 20th at 2 p.m. Everyone is welcome to attend. Doylestown Township Pension Committee will hold its first meeting of this year on September 20th, 2016 at 4 p.m. The next meeting of the Doylestown Township Board of Supervisors is Tuesday, September 20th at 5 p.m. The Doylestown Township Administrative Offices will be closed on Monday, September 5th for Labor Day. And the Thompson Performing Arts Series at the Covenant Bank Amphitheater in Central Park continues with back-to-school DJ dance on August 19th. That is in conjunction with CB Cares Educational Foundation. The movie Disney's Zootopia is August 24th, 8 p.m., and that's a movie that's rated PG. That's you can bring your children, and you probably would have fun, too. And the encore performance of the Fabulous Grease Band will be held on September 14th at 7 p.m. And by the way, it's National Hoagie Day, so we'll be celebrating hoagies in addition to the Fabulous Grease Band on September 14th at the Covenant Bank Amphitheater. And then, Give the Gift of Life. The Red Cross is holding its blood drive on September 9th. That's a Friday, 2 p.m. until 7 p.m. And we're going to be taking the blood at the Activity Center behind the administrative offices. You have to schedule an appointment. Go to redcrossblood.org. Fido Float at Fanny Chapman is September 10th. That is, you get to take your dogs to Fanny Chapman Pool. It's closed to people, humans, but it's open to the puppies. And the Fido Float is 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And for additional information, and you do have to register for the event, please visit the website doylestownrec.com. Leaf and yard waste recycling at Doylestown Township for residents of Doylestown Township only. The drop-off site is open every third Saturday of the month, March to December, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and the location is the New Britain Road access to the back of Central Park. And a reminder, please, Central Buck schools are going to be back in session on Wednesday, August 31st. That's earlier than usual, so everyone please drive carefully and take note of your bus stop drops in your neighborhood. All right, next item on the agenda, minutes approval for the July 19, 2016 meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
Yes. Any changes, corrections? No?
No, I make a motion we approve the minutes. Second.
Thank you. All in favor of the minutes?
Aye.
Thank you. Heritage Conservancy, the Drager Conservation easement.
Yes, I received word from Taylor Thompson. You recall they made a presentation regarding the Dragers and the preservation of that property. Unfortunately, the second appraisal came back much lower than anticipated, and it is below the threshold that the Dragers had set. And so at this moment, the Dragers and the Heritage Conservancy will not be moving forward with the preservation of that property. Just so everyone knows, I know we had said that Mayor's office would do a survey of the property. They have not done that yet because they were waiting for the second appraisal, and now that it's not going forward, that is not going to occur at this time.
Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe it will change.
Maybe it will change in the future.
Absolutely.
But
All right.
I did want to.
Well, I don't know that it's going to change. I mean, this sounds like a dead issue. It wasn't even close.
I understand, but anything could change. Maybe the Drager School can reconsider down the line. Who knows?
Possibly, but if my recollection, and just to bring it to remind everybody, it cost us about $10,000 to get to this point without any kind of...
No, I think it was a little less than that because we assisted with the two appraisals, and I thought they were about, I'm going to say round numbers 3-ish, maybe a little less.
In any case, I'm disappointed for the Dragers. That's a shame. And Heritage Conservancy, who comes in and asks for money, and I think they've got to do better homework next time.
All right. Moving on to the next item on the agenda.
The item I have, Madam Chairperson, is that the board will recall that you adopted a floodplain ordinance, I guess, last spring, if my memory serves me. And what you're being asked to do tonight is to authorize for advertisement an ordinance which will basically remove the floodplain components from the zoning ordinance, so that it's no longer in place, because you do have a standalone floodplain ordinance. So I would ask the board to authorize its advertisement for a hearing probably in early October.
Any questions about the request to authorize the advertising of the ordinance?
No.
Is there a motion to
Move
approve?
to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
I'm sorry?
I didn't say aye. I'm saying aye.
Are you saying aye now?
Yes.
Okay.
Delayed aye. Sorry, I was taking a note.
Any reports from the chief? Oh, hi, Lieutenant.
Nothing to report.
Okay. How about the township engineer?
Yes, first thing is, please do not shoot the messenger. Back in June, I sent the board a letter informing you that the DEP had finalized their 2018 renewal MS4 permit. As part of that application, and it's for the general permit, as part of the application, there was a table provided that showed that Doylestown Township is no longer eligible for a general permit. You're going to have to apply for an individual permit. That is because Doylestown Township's in the Neshaminy Creek watershed, and the Neshaminy Creek has a total maximum daily load assessment. That's a TMDL. So that is going to put you into the individual permit category. Of course, the requirements for an individual permit have not been issued by DEP, but in discussions with them, they said that we can take the 2018 general permit and use it as a template, and that the individual permit requirements should be coming out soon. I'm not going to hold my breath. To seek coverage under the new permit, we have to submit, and DEP must receive an administratively complete and acceptable NOI by September 16th, 2017, which is 180 days before the new permit becomes effective in March of 2018. This may seem like a long way off, but DEP has made significant revisions and additions to the permit, some of which are actually required to be submitted with the notice of intent or the individual permit package in September of 2017. Some of the things include updating the municipality's outfall and storm sewer map to show the entire storm sewer system, including private systems of which the municipality system would tie into. Got to locate all the outfalls, and I know this township has a lot of outfalls with latitude and longitude coordinates. You have to provide with the notice of intent or the individual permit a pollution reduction plan to reduce pollutant loadings of sediment and total phosphorus. Another requirement is that the municipality must implement pollution control measures within certain storm watersheds for any outfall that discharges to waters impaired due to pathogens. In other words, fecal coliform. I guess I said they provided this MS4 requirement table. The table's purpose is to identify the specific requirements for the MS4 during the next permit term beyond those which are required for the MS4 storm sewer program and other permit conditions.
Sounds a wee bit onerous. So we have to get right on this, huh? What do you need from us tonight?
I don't need anything.
We have to do it.
Yeah, I know that, but
what
you need to take any action.
You don't need to take any action right now. Basically, the whole gist of this is, it is my opinion that significant dollars will be required to implement this program going forward. I know it's budget, you are coming into budget season, and I've been asked a couple of times by various people, how much is this going to cost? I have no clue as to what it might cost. Gut reaction right now is that you're going to have to budget what you've been budgeting, because we're still in our final year of the old permit, so that all needs to be done. Then we're also going to have to budget all the, let's say, the engineering and planning required to put in the individual permit application and NOI. And then beyond that, let's say between 2018 and 2023, because it's a 5-year permit, there's going to be a lot of money required to implement all the requirements, BMPs, basically rain gardens, infiltration trenches, vegetated swales, just about every kind of BMP imaginable. We're going to have to evaluate the pollutant of concern in whatever sewer shed it's located, and then design these things to reduce the pollutant load. And then you have to implement this program. I could see you, once you start implementing, easily doubling whatever it is that you're spending now, and probably more.
Well, this is, it's coming from the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, but is it something that's being handed down to DEP from above?
From the EPA.
All right, so yet another unfunded mandate, which will be extraordinarily expensive for the township.
Oh, yes.
Does Conestoga get involved in this? Can we bring them in?
Yes,
really
well,
to get as
one of the things is updating the map. I know that they have taken basically the map over, so I would think that they should be the ones to do the map, updating the map, adding the entire storm sewer system. Then you need to do watersheds, basically watersheds for each outfall, so it's going to require topography. One of the requirements for the pollution reduction plan, you actually need to determine land uses in that watershed, or you can do it by pervious, impervious areas. So you're going to need to know what is in that watershed to do the calculations, to calculate your pollutant loads and then your pollution reductions. So I see this, for this township, that, the old Conestoga Rovers, whatever they're called now, is going to probably be a part of it. I know that Autumn is involved. She's going to be, our office will be involved, and it's going to be, like we normally do, it's going to be a group effort.
Okay. Well, thank you for the excellent news.
We have, as you mentioned in your announcements, our next budget session is the 20th. So between now and the 20th, could you take another look at it to try to give us a better estimate of what might be required for 17? Or is your doubling estimate as good as we're going to get?
I can pretty much tell you what is required for 17.
Yeah.
What it's going to cost is maybe a little, I'd say I can, with Stephanie's permission, I can meet with Autumn and try to work you out. You said for your work,
put as much science behind it as we can.
Trying to get you a little bit more focused by the 20th.
Thank you. That'll help.
I was going to bring us up in Supervisors, but it's probably apropos now. The PSATS magazine and some of the research that I've been doing, and don't shoot the messenger, but to paraphrase what they're saying is that the townships in the very near future should consider hiring someone to deal with this. It's going to be so onerous that it's going to be
full-time job.
Do you have a comment on that?
Oh, I can see where some municipalities it will be a full-time job for more than one person. Could be.
Yeah, and I got a letter in the mail the other day from a company that's talking about acts are being passed, Jeff, and I'm not sure where this stands, of forming authorities to deal with stormwater issues and stuff.
Because you have to find a funding mechanism for an authority. You just can't. The mechanisms are hard when you're a developed community because you can't tax. You have to tax homeowners for some sort of stormwater, and the cost of arranging it and determining it would be a nightmare. And it wouldn't be appropriate for Doylestown Township.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's something we're going to have to
deal with,
and we will.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for giving us a heads up and giving us an outline for what we have to do in the very near future. And thank you for working with Autumn and helping us put a number on it for 2017.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Mario?
That's it.
Okay. Manager.
Well, some good news. The Bucks County Planning Commission received a congestion mitigation air quality program grant through DVRPC, the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission, for $23,000, so $1.8 million for trail that will run from Central Park. We looked at it today at Bike and Hike. It'll connect to the trail that sits on the county's property now, down along 611. This will allow residents from the estates of Doylestown and the Greens and that area to begin to connect to Central Park, and also for folks in this area riding our trail system to connect down to the commercial area. So that's very exciting. Should I go on to my next item? Or?
Yeah.
On the DART, it's all positive there. On the DART, even more good information. Ridership is up significantly. You can see that we're even trending this year very well. And just so everyone knows, of the 9 concerts we had this summer where the DART was used to bring people to the concerts, 321 riders used the DART.
That's great.
So, yeah, that was very exciting. And then the last item I have is that 2 years from now, in August of 2018, Doylestown Township will turn 200 years old. I think this is a milestone and one that we may want to consider celebrating in some fashion. There's a variety of ways we can go about doing that. From very understated, when we turned 175, we just put stickers on our letterhead. But I think we should, 200 years bicentennial, I think is a big achievement for a community, and one that we should take the time to think about maybe forming a small committee, maybe adding special interest in history into our newsletter, and perhaps working with our telecommunications advisory board to create a special video. And just for some background, it was in 1814 was the first time that inhabitants in Doylestown petitioned the Court of the Quarter Sessions to create Doylestown Township. A similar request went in 1817, and it was in August of 1818 that the court granted the ability for them to survey and map the area that we know as Doylestown Township. It was March 4th of 1819 that everything was confirmed by the county, and the first election was held on March 19th of 1819 for township officials. 199 people voted. It's very cute.
Nothing has changed.
So, you know, we were established, came from a lot of the other areas, forming our community today. And I think that from our humble beginnings, almost 200 years, we've emerged into a beautiful and vibrant community today, one that our residents enjoy. And so, as we say, we want to preserve the past and embrace the future. So I hope that we can do that. I've listed some suggested ideas, and just leave to your good graces to see how we might pause.
You guys want to start thinking about this, or
Yes.
come back with some ideas?
I think we should get a small group together to start formulating ideas.
I added one, time capsule.
Oh, great idea.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Between now and our next meeting, let's see who wants to serve and ideas for
Yep.
who to pick from the community to serve, okay?
Yep.
We'll talk about that. Okay, great, thanks. All right, anything else, Stephanie?
No, nothing that we want to
Unfinished
discuss.
business, tub grinder.
Supervisors.
Oh, I always do that. Sean, you got anything?
Yes, just briefly regarding Park and Rec, please continue, as you mentioned, about the concert series. Come out to the remaining concerts. They've been a big success. If you were fortunate enough to come out to the fireworks, it was we've heard earlier, it was a great success and a great time. But that is winding down. So I do have other comments regarding EAC. Our native garden was nominated for the Environmental Initiative Award given by the PA Horticultural Society. They came out to evaluate it, the question and answer thing, and we're waiting for the results of that. So there's a lot of people in on that. It takes some time to evaluate that, but we're hopeful of that. We have our first bird walk without Ray Hendricks. And it's scheduled for fall, this fall, October 1st. Janine Mitchell is going to lead it, and that's at 9 to 11 a.m. on October 1st. So mark your calendars. If you haven't done it before, that's also a great event here at the park. October 7th, we'll continue our speaker series, and we have Doug Talamy coming to speak. The time and location, though, is to be determined because it depends on the size of the crowd and everything. He typically could bring hundreds of people as a speaker, but we're real excited about that. So
Great.
that's all I have. Thank you.
Ken?
The renovations, we're going to talk about later, so I won't get into that for this part of discussion. The one thing I did want to highlight, it was in the back of our packet, and it talked about the risk control survey report, which was a safety audit, basically, of the facilities. And I just wanted to read what was found in here. In summary, is that I commend the Township, especially the Safety Committee, for its efforts on the very comprehensive safety and health manual, which is posted on the Township's website. Doylestown Township continues to cultivate a safety culture, what appears to be reflected in the relatively low frequency and severity of its workman's comp claims. Kudos to you and your staff. So I think that's a good tribute to the whole Safety Committee and all the Township employees who work very hard, but also work very smart and safe. So it's a good job.
Thank you. Rick, you have anything?
Just one comment. The other stuff was already spoken about, and then another issue later. But to dovetail on what we've talked about, often we overlook our own staff and what they do. Rick Shea is a good example. So sometimes we have to take a step and look within and thank for the people who we have here and what they do, which is a great job. So kudos to them, too. All these awards are a result of their efforts, too.
Thanks, Rick. How about you, Ryan?
Just one quick thing. Stephanie brought up the CMAC award. And another thing that I know a lot of residents have asked about that we talked about today at the Bike and Hike meeting is the trail that leads from the 202 Parkway to Lower State Road into the borough will break ground in about 2 months, right?
No,
Or
2017.
in 2017, but they said it should be done by the spring, summer. What are you saying?
Probably about a year from now.
Yeah, but they, the committee was very excited about it because it's been a long time coming. Like this CMAC award, you get a grant, you get excited about a project, but it's a long time, and everybody was really kind of excited about the fact that it was actually happening. And I think that's going to be a huge part of the trail, to connect that 202 Parkway so people from this side of town can actually make it into the borough and to the other side. It's pretty exciting. So,
Thank you. I had the opportunity to meet the very gracious and brilliant Dr. Gallo at our new president of Del Valle University, and she gave us an invitation for direct access, anything we need from the university. She wants us to participate in programming and partnership with anything that comes about, and so, she gave me her personal email and anything that we may need. And taking her up on that, the Bucks County Association of Township Officials is planning a forum that will take place in Upper Bucks, Lower Bucks, and Central Bucks, which we will host, Doylestown Township. And we're going to be doing a forum on the opiate and local government and our residents and what we can do, education, prevention. But in addition to that, which we've already done a lot of, we're going to add Narcan training and use training for residents and for anyone who wants to take the training. So there'll be official training. It'll be conducted by the Bucks County Drug and Alcohol Commission, and once you're trained, then you have access to that drug if you need it in your home or if you need it in your workplace. So that'll be geared to residents and to the 9 municipalities in Central Bucks. So what I asked Dr. Gallo for is perhaps maybe a large room that we might need in the event that we have not enough space here. So that's planned for either October 12th, October 19th, as it's going to be a Wednesday night, 7 to 8:30. So put it in the back of your heads and more information will come. And I think that's all I had. All right, moving on to the next unfinished business, and that would be the tub grinder recycling development and information grant.
The board will recall that this is an item that we had budgeted for this year, when a grant that we had applied for last year, and we have received it. We've received a DP share of $188,097. This is a match, and we're working with Delaware Valley University. We'll be sharing in that match. The current tub grinder will go to auction, and so proceeds from that will help, as we've heard, the tub grinder price, which is over a year old, might be a little higher than we had budgeted for. So the sale of the current one will help offset any additional costs, but we have this grant grant, and would recommend the board accept the grant at this time.
Is there a motion to accept the grant giving us $188,097 for the tub grinder that we'll share with Del Valle University?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, new business. I happen to see Mr. Brexler here, CEO of Dawson Hospital, regarding the bond issue. We have a letter from Mr. Garten regarding said issue.
Essentially, the hospital is, through its authority, is refinancing some debt, I think borrowing some additional monies. And there's a rule that's called TEFRA. And if the township recognizes that Doylestown Hospital provides a community service, then certain restrictions as far as competing with others are no longer applicable, and there's no responsibility on the part of this township for any financial element of this. You're only recognizing the importance of the hospital to the community. So I would recommend the board adopt the resolution so that the hospital can proceed with its financing plans to the benefit of the entire community.
Well, we certainly recognize the importance of Dawson Hospital to this, the entire region, to the nation, actually. So is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Move to approve.
Second that.
I'll make a comment that I want to disclose that I am an unpaid member of the Board of Directors of the Doylestown Hospital Authority. In that capacity yesterday, I approved this bond resolution because it is for the benefit of Doylestown Hospital, our township, and our neighboring communities. So I fully support this.
All right, so motion and second with comment. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
George, do you have things to be signed? Do you want to leave them here, or how would you like to do that?
Actually, I believe John has Jeff Shankle.
He'll get them to us? Okay.
Okay.
We'll get them signed over the next couple of days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. You guys want to say anything? Why don't you take the microphone, Mr. Brexler? Does everybody know Jim Brexler?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm President and CEO, Jim Brexler, President and CEO, and it's hard to believe 3.5 years since I moved our family here. We're thrilled to be here. I just want to say thank you on behalf of the hospital and the patients and families that you represent and we serve. It's hard to believe, as beautiful as that campus is and the hospital is, it's 40 years old in its basic infrastructure. And 40 years in the medical world is beyond a lifetime. So we've got some work to do internally, but we also have expansion of new technology. This will build out on the Heart Center, which has become a world-class heart center, add new technologies that we haven't had before. It will give us the capacity to expand our operating rooms with some procedural issues that are going on there. And then another issue, which is our Pine Run retirement community, which many of you are aware of. That also is a wonderful resource to this community, but its hub, its community center, which is the lifeblood of what people get to do, if we need to keep it from falling into the lake that's at Pine Run. So, I mean, it has some serious infrastructure issues. We don't tell the residents there, but we are, in fact, going to do some really significant improvements that include putting a pool in and putting new facilities and dining facilities that will really make that an outstanding resource as well. So we've got some key things we need to do, and the time is right to, at the cost of money that's there today, to give us that next chance to move forward. So thank you for your approval, and we'll be back to you with the plans and give you some idea of what all we're going to be doing at another time.
We can't wait to hear from you. Good
Thank
luck
you
with
all
everything.
very much.
Thanks.
All righty then. Next item on the agenda, township bids regarding line payment, line painting, pavement marking, and true cleaning.
Sorry, there's
a disposition of township records.
Yes.
Resolution before that. Sorry. That's okay. It's not your fault. It's me. I'm jumping the agenda. Okay.
Traditionally, we do this periodically, and we've gone through all of our files, and Jackie has put together the resolution that we need in order to dispose of the various documents throughout the township. So would look for the board's approval at this time.
Is there a motion? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Just a question. Is there a schedule? I mean, you had just used the, and you said periodically we look at this. Don't you do this every year? I mean,
We do.
You have this pretty much on a schedule, right?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure it's just not something, it's not a haphazard thing.
Okay.
You do it as a planned event. Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, now township bids.
Was there an aye? I don't think.
Did I call?
I have 5-0. No.
I thought we did. I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Township bids, line painting and pavement marking bid, tree pruning and takedown bid.
Dick, you want to handle this, or?
Hey. I had hopes that we'd have two bids on the agenda tonight. However, I realized at a late date that the pavement marking bid needed more time for the contractors to look at the work. So they'll be coming in for your September 15th meeting. In the meantime, we do have the tree bid back. We had 6 bidders out of 8 potential. You can see the bids are kind of close, so we have worked with all of these firms. I would recommend any of them to you, but tonight it's Bears Tree and Lawn Service for $27,730.
All right, is there a motion to approve the bid to Bears Tree and Lawn Service for tree pruning and/or takedown of trees in the amount of $27,730?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Dick. And then you'll get back to us on the line pavement.
Yes, I will.
Trash hauler permits.
We have a new trash hauler, Harrison Disposal, and they are requesting to be able to collect solid waste and recyclables residentially and commercially. And typically, the board approves these in January or February timeframe, but they're coming in here late in the game, but we want to be able to add them into our list, and they would like to do business in the township, so make that available to our residents.
Where are they from? Not that we have to check them out, but where are they from?
I'm not sure where they're from, but obviously they're starting in this area, so it's hard to start up.
Stephanie, do you know, will they provide any additional services that the other 3 do not supply today?
I don't believe so. I think they'll be offering the traditional residential and commercial trash hauling and recycling that they're required to by ordinance.
Can we dictate what days they pick up?
No, your regulations are limited to making sure they have insurance and those kind of things. You can't regulate how they operate. That's a matter of state law these days.
Just a concern. Another trash hauler out on the streets. They're the biggest things that break down our roads, so just something to think about instead of just a concern that if you have another 18-ton truck running around our neighborhoods, it impacts us.
If I understand, we have no control over that. If they apply, we must accept them, right?
Assuming they provide you the insurance and the vehicle numbers and all that kind of thing, yes.
We can't.
Well, why are we asking if we approve it? I mean,
to issue the
permits so that they can do
the
business in
stickers
the
they put in
township.
their
You just
trucks.
can't regulate hours of operation or require them to do things that aren't
but
otherwise,
what I'm hearing is we can't deny the permit either.
unless they don't provide the
Unless they
insurance
don't provide the
certificate, things like
Which
that.
It's like any other permit. You meet the requirements, you get the permit.
Get it? Okay.
All right, so is there a motion to approve the new trash hauler?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
Get that?
Yeah.
Township building renovation, proposal for services.
As the board knows, Barbara and Ken and myself and Dick have been meeting with Phillips Donovan, the architects who are working on the building renovation project. We're coming to the end of the services that they're preparing and doing the initial design plans for the renovations to the buildings. And as we look to budget for 2017 and continue to move the project forward, they have provided us with their proposal for their professional services, including everything from the bidding and all the documents related to that through construction management. And so they working when gotten quotes and prices from their subcontractors that they use to assist them in preparing these documents, and would ask the board's approval for them to work with us at over $500,000. Now, this will be paid over a period of time, most likely 17, 18, and 19, but they will be providing us with the deliverables, and we can incorporate it into the eventual potential bond issue that would cover the project costs as well. So
We should be doing a bond anticipation resolution
yes.
sooner rather than before you expend any more money, so.
Yeah, this, what Stephanie's talking about is 2017. You're right. So if I heard you right, Stephanie, this is to proceed to build it into the budget,
Yes.
see what the impact is, and see what we do with it. But for now, in order to keep this project moving, we have enough funds in 2016 to finish up the things we need to do, but to really kick this off, we need this in 2017, so.
I'm looking for the bottom line here. What are we approving?
Give her that.
500.
Bottom line.
542,000. And this is the construction management and management fee.
It's the
All
design,
encompassing.
it's the design, documentation, all the specs, and all the bidding. up
And
to the
takes us all the way through
inspections.
construction.
Yes.
All right, Philip, we knew this was coming. Does anybody have any questions on this?
No. If the building committee
Purposes.
recommends it, I'm in favor.
Yes.
Building committee recommends it. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
All right,
I make a motion that we accept their offer.
is there a second?
Yeah, well, the acceptance is to build it into the budget, see what we can do, see where it fits. So it's not approving to write a check for it.
No, but we're approving this, so they know that we're approving. So-
Correct.
Yes,
Right.
we're
Yeah, to get it
approving,
for next year.
we're approving the Phillips Donovan Architect proposal.
Correct.
For that encompasses all their services for $542,000.
Correct.
That's what's on the table.
But that's a commitment, isn't it?
Yes. It is a
Yes.
commitment.
Well, if you don't proceed with the project, then they don't get paid beyond what, that's
So
built into the
Right.
agreement.
So that, who made the motion?
Right.
And there's a second.
Ken seconded.
Kevin seconded it?
Yeah.
Any other questions about it? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, now this amount will be built into the budget for 2016, 2017. And as the solicitor suggests, we need to get the resolution in place.
I can prepare one, and you can even recover your 2016 expenses, too.
Yeah, including this,
Okay.
right?
Good.
Yeah.
And our bridge.
And the other thing is that, just so the rest of the board knows, the committee, when we last met, decided that it was time to show our planning commission our sketches and where we're at from a site capacity for the site itself and what we'll need to do regarding our land development process. So we're going to initiate that with them at their next meeting.
Which is August 22nd at 7 p.m. And Ken is going to go representing the building committee, correct? And I believe you are already there, Mr. Colaro.
That's true.
I already know. Next item on the agenda, land development, Sabloski property lot line change.
And I can obviously see from the who's left in the audience, this is a hot topic in Doylestown Township. Mr. and Mrs. Sabloski have filed an application with the township seeking a lot line adjustment to the parcels 9-4-63 and 9-4-63-1. They're going to convey a small piece of 9-4-63 to 9-4-63-1. There's no major substantive change to the lots. There's a slight deviation from the lot line. Plans were prepared by Holmes Cunningham LLC, were dated June 9, 2016. Doylestown Township Planning Commission is meeting on July 25, 2016. Recommend approval subject to certain conditions. If you want me to go through the conditions now, or you want to hear something from the applicant, engineer, and council? No? Okay. This is what I view to be the conditions.
Let me make sure. Does anyone right here from the applicant and council?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
We're glad to be here.
Compliance with, if you want to wait an hour or so, no. So you can, if your client doesn't think you got away easily, it's probably watching on TV. Compliance with the Pickering Courts and Somerset Review Letter dated July 13, 2016, except the board is requested to grant the following waivers from the subdivision land development ordinance. One is related to the ultimate right-of-way being dedicated because there's an existing septic system where that would be done. Next would be not to require the road widening along Limekiln Road because there's no improvements. Next, not to require the construction of a bike and hike trail. We'll come back to that in a moment. Next, not to provide certain landscaping. Next, with respect to showing the location of trees, watercourses, and septic systems, we'll come back to that, and not required to show the location and species of individual trees. Next, compliance with Boucher and James review letter dated July 14, 2016. Applicant shall show on the plans the location of wells on the two properties and the current septic system located on tax map parcel 9-4-63. Next, applicant also to show the existing utility line that runs approximately along the relocated property line between the two lots. Also, notwithstanding the request for a waiver from Saldo Section 153-25, Township and the applicant shall review the potential of granting an easement across 9-4-63-1 for the purpose of constructing a multi-use trail or sidewalk, which discussion and resolution shall occur prior to the recording of the lot line plan. Next, receipt of all permits and approved by the agencies having jurisdiction. Next, applicant to reimburse the township for all costs incurred with respect to the application, including professional fees. Next, the deeds of conveyance and consolidation to be recorded contemporaneously with the Mylar plans. It should be noted that there was a prior restriction imposed upon the lot for no further subdivision, but it's my opinion there's no subdivision here, just a lot line adjustment, no new lots being created, so it does not violate that restriction. Mr. Peters, do you agree to those conditions on behalf of the applicant?
All right, anybody have any questions?
Nope.
Is there a motion to approve the lot line changes recited by the solicitor?
Yeah, make that motion.
Great. Second?
Second.
All right, any other comments? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. That's 5-0. You are excused, gentlemen. Congratulations. Thank you. No, you're welcome to hear the announcements
You know,
again.
don't snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
And he brought pictures, too.
We were prepared. We're all prepared. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. That's why it works, because you were prepared.
That's exactly right.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, next item on the agenda, Treasurer's Report for August 16th. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And finally, the bills list for August 16th, 2016.
Motion.
Approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, announcements. Budget work session Tuesday, September 20th at 2 p.m. Everyone is welcome to attend. We'll be working on the 2017 budget. I'm talking to the Township Planning Committee is going to hold its meeting on September 20th at 4:00 p.m. The next meeting on the Board of Supervisors is Tuesday, September 20th at 5 p.m. And then we're going to be closed on September 5th for Labor Day. The Thompson Performing Arts Series at the Covenant Bank Amphitheater in Central Park has its back-to-school DJ dance party on August 19th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. The rain date is August 26th. The movie Disney's Zootopia is August 24th at 8 p.m. Encore performance of the Fabulous Grease Band is September 14th at 7 p.m. and it's National Hoagie Day. Give a Gift of Life. Red Cross is holding its blood drive Friday, September 9th, 2 to 7 at the Activities Center behind the administrative offices. Schedule an appointment. Go to redcrossblood.org. Fido Float at Fannie Chapman is September 10th, and it's at the pool from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., and you need to register, so go to doylestownrec.com. Leaf and yard recycling for Doylestown Township residents only. The drop site is open every third Saturday of the month, March through December, from 9 a.m. to 11, and you go to the New Britain Road access to the back of Central Park for the leaf and yard waste recycling drop-off. Reminder, Central Park schools will be back in session on Wednesday, August 31st, so please drive carefully. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Have a nice Labor Day, everybody.
Yes, enjoy your Labor Day.